Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. We're out here taking our, most of the time, daily evening walk. Sunset, back here in the background. You can see it off in the distance here. Y'all, it is magnificent. Just looking at all the big water out here and big sky. What a blessing Lisa and I have found ourselves in here on the Piney Woods Homestead. Maybe we'll have to change that name at some point. I don't know. Some people want us to keep it. We kind of want to keep it, but we may leave it. Who knows? Guys, got several clips from this past week to make up this video. Going to take you on a seafood extravaganza, local seafood, and a few other things. Going to show you a new tool that a company sent to us. There'll be a link in the description with a discount code for it. Might be something you're interested in. Y'all, thanks for stopping in at the Piney Woods. We're going to enjoy our afternoon walk, enjoy this beautiful sunset and these beautiful waves. Looks like tide's going out right now. Take in that deep salt air. Thanks for being here, guys. Y'all, one thing that we've started doing is making a month-long supper menu. Week 1 through 4, 7 days a week. And what that does for us is just helps us to be more frugal with the food that we have stored, as well as any that we have to buy. Plus, it keeps us from having a bunch of leftovers, because only certain things do I really like eating leftover. And so on those days, we may, make just a little bit more so that we have it for lunch the next day. But this has really helped us kind of streamline our meal prep for suppers. Breakfast and lunch, we really don't worry about, because a lot of times it's our breakfast staples: bacon, eggs, sausage. And it's not always that in the morning. Sometimes it's something totally different, something small. And lunch a lot of times is a small salad or a sandwich, something like that. But this has really helped us. But today I am making slaw. And a couple of the things that I'm making it for is tonight is hot dog night. Y'all, I love hot dogs. Lisa said, how come we got hot dogs on this menu twice in a month? It's because I love them, y'all, and I know they're not good for you. I think that's probably why they are so good. But I love slaw. I love crunchy texture in my food, because I really don't taste that good. I really don't taste many things. And so I like texture. But down here, we're able to get bright leaf hot dogs, and I love those. Grew up on them. But we'll have hot dogs tonight, and then today is Wednesday, and then Saturday evening we'll have seafood, fried seafood, and some just pan-seared scallops probably. But slaw will hold in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, and it's really the best after about 3 days when everything's kind of marinated together. So I'm going to show you how I make my fish house barbecue type slaw that I love, y'all. A creamy slaw, sweet and crunchy. Y'all, a food processor is the best way to make this slaw. When I was a kid, it was always with a chopper in a bowl. And this is just so much easier. And I get that fine chop. Little tip for you when you're buying a head of cabbage after you've cut it, because we don't use the whole thing at once. Wrap it up in some paper towel, put it in a Ziploc bag. It'll keep it from rusting so bad. We're just going to chop it up. I have already used half of this cabbage. And y'all, here's my favorite part of a cabbage. Get that core out, and it's good and crunchy. I like to eat that myself. But I just give it a coarse chop. Get it down in the food processor. Better put my blade in there before I get too far ahead of myself. And this thing is really going to just pulverize it down to that size I'm looking for. If you like a slaw that is more coarse, then I suggest chopping it by hand with a chopper. But I like it fine. It's my favorite way. I've got it packed to the top. And that's all right because it's going to break down. I can get the lid on it. And after I've kind of broke it down a little bit, we're going to add some carrots in here. I like some carrot in there, but I pulsed it a little bit. Give it a little shake. And it's going to help break it on down. And then I can add some carrot in here. And that's what you're looking for. Just a fine slaw. And you can put anything in here you want. I've put bell pepper in here before, it's good, but just simple, keeping it simple. Cabbage and carrot. Here's some of that core I was talking about. It's really intense in flavor, and it's very peppery. I like it because my taste buds aren't great. But I can get a little bit of that flavor. Peppery and sweet. So don't throw the core out of the cabbage. It is so good. Let's get all that cabbage dumped into a clean bowl that you can put a lid on. And you'll find there might be a piece or two in here that's still chunky. That's no big deal. Next thing, a little bit of kosher salt. Just a good pinch, doesn't take much. Some fine ground black pepper over the top. And y'all, obviously I'm not measuring. I've done this so long, I just do it by eye. I don't think I've ever really had a recipe. I don't think. Mama might have given me one. Just a splash of apple cider vinegar. And the star to show, some Duke's real mayonnaise. We like the Dukes around here. And on this, I'm just eyeballing too. It's probably going to take around a cup of mayonnaise. And one other key ingredient, let me grab it. You've got to have sugar. That's what makes this type of slaw so good. And it's probably a little over a half of a cup. And all you do is stir it all up. And as this slaw sits in the refrigerator, it's going to marinate from the apple cider vinegar, the vinegar that's in the mayonnaise. The sugar is going to melt down. The salt and the pepper will go into the cabbage, start drawing some moisture out of it. And y'all, this is really just the best slaw I have personally ever had. I've had the red slaws up into Piedmont where they put it on barbecue, ketchup slaw. Never have really liked that one, but I've eaten it. But this is my absolute favorite. It gives a nice sweetness and crunch and tang from the vinegar to chop barbecue, hot dogs, fish sandwiches, fried fish. It's just a great slaw. Even just on the plate with some beans or something, it's that good. But just work it down until it starts looking smooth. You'll start seeing moisture coming out of that cabbage. Trying to get the cabbage out of the gap of my front teeth, so I don't look so embarrassing on the camera. Like I said, it didn't really matter to me at this point in life. But I'll have a little quick taste. I could eat that whole bowl full of this slaw. It's like eating dessert. And people will say sugar's not good for you. Probably not on a daily. But once or twice a week, ain't gonna kill you no worse than the stuff that people are putting in the food these days. Y'all, we get companies requesting all the time for us to review their products, and we don't always say yes. I said yes this time, and here's why. Inside of this box is a pole saw. I left our manual pole saw back at the homestead for the new owners because I thought I'm never going to need one of those things again. But as it turns out, y'all, our new place here on the Intercoastal Waterway is almost 3/10 of a mile off of a paved road, on a dirt road. And even beside of our house, there are some pine trees that are encroaching. So I need to be able to trim those things. But they reached out and I was like, man, I actually need one of those now, and it's battery operated. But the company, if I'm saying it right, is called Seesii US. Seesii-US. Makes me think of, oh, Seesii rider. Oh, see what you have done. Anyways, I'm gonna open this thing up. We'll just say that they're sponsoring this video because they provided this to us at no charge whatsoever for this little battery powered pole saw. And I told them I'd open the thing up. We're not going to use it today, obviously. We're in the living room. But we will. Oh, that's a big box for a little box on the inside. Let me see if I can get in here and find it. It's way down in here. Ah, it's like Christmas almost. We have been putting up the Christmas tree, y'all, because we're excited about Christmas this year. So, battery-powered pole saw. And it's spelled properly. Battery-powered pole saw. Seesii Rider. Just remember, Elvis Presley, Seesii Rider, and you'll remember the brand. You can buy this thing on Amazon. I'm not sure how much it costs yet. I don't think it's too much. There's all kinds of companies out there trying to sell products just like this. But I'm excited to try this thing out, but we're just going to take a look at it real quick before I go in here and fry up some fish. Got an instruction manual that comes with it.
You've got a cat in the box.
Yeah, cats love boxes, y'all. Seesii US. We'll throw that out, although I would recommend reading it. It comes with 2 batteries. And these are 21 volt. That's odd. I'm used to seeing like either 18 or 24 volt, but 21 volt. Feels kind of heavy, so that should be good. Let's see. But yeah, it comes with 2 of those, and you'll need to pre-charge them, y'all, just like any power tool you buy. Comes with a little adapter, and there's a little charging station in here. But here is the business end.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
It is nice.
Put your battery back here on the end. Nice soft foam grip right here, and it's not too heavy, y'all. I just can't hold stuff up that's real heavy anymore. But it's looking like a battery attaches here for the cutting head. Definitely a battery attaches at the end, but you can open it up and oh look, it self retracts. That's pretty cool. I'm liking that already. Be easy to put up, but I'm no guess. Even with the battery on and the cutting head, which here's your cutting head. It's a little chainsaw. And I'll tell you who got me to thinking about these things. My buddy Geezer, Roy, at Geezer in the Woods. he had one of these. It wasn't the Seesii brand. I can't remember which one it was. Probably the same thing. Probably running the same factory somewhere with a different name, different company, but he made it look fun to use, easy to use. Chains almost properly tensioned. I'll fix that. But y'all, this thing does not run. There's no oil reserve. This is not a big chainsaw. This is intended for small limbs. And so that's what we're going to be using it for. But that's going to mount onto the end. Oh, I see. Electrical connection. Mounts onto the end right here. Get on there. And then you can push to adjust, extend this thing out, put your battery on the end, and you can reach on up there pretty good. We'll do more of a thorough review on this thing, y'all. I got a lot of stuff to trim with it. We're just going to see how well it holds up. Oh, and check this out. Oh, and it does have some oil. It came with, it looks like a little, hey, it came with an extra saw chain, pair of gloves, and I'll figure this thing out in more depth. You just oil the chain, I'm thinking, every little bit as you're going so that you don't overheat your chain, stretch it out. Y'all, this is pretty cool. We appreciate Seesii reaching out to us to do a review. That lets us know that they don't mind us talking about Jesus on this channel, because we do, y'all. Because if it were not for the Lord, we would not be right here on the Intercoastal Waterway right now. So, we're happy to support even a small company that we're not familiar with if they're willing to support us. So check them out. We'll leave a link in the description. On to frying some fish. Y'all, been outside doing a few things, and this morning I ran down to Garland Seafood and picked up some fish, because we are making a new tradition around here to cook fish every Saturday evening. This is what you call a spot. It's about the size of maybe a large brim, like a freshwater fish. This is saltwater. And they are just as good as flounder, y'all. I thought I would show you how I prepare them. This fish does have a scale on it, but we are not removing scales with a scraper. I don't do this fish whole all the time. What I like to do is fillet them. There's not a whole lot of meat, but what you get is really good. So I just start up here behind that front fin there on the side. Get my knife down here on the bones and run it along that bone all the way to the end. And then I'll flip it over. We'll clean that up in a minute. And get up under the flesh and get the scale side off. And got a little bit extra to remove here that I didn't quite get. But that is a spot fillet. And then I trim this. There's some bones right here, you can feel them. I'm going to go up under them, cut that off, and you're left with a beautiful fillet. And y'all, this is better, in my opinion, than flounder. I'll show you the other side. Same principle. Behind that first fin, cut down, get your fillet knife at an angle, follow that bone in the center, give him a flip, and go right down through the flesh to the skin and off with it. Did a little better on that one. Off with the bones. Almost a perfect fillet. And you can scale them, leave the skin on, because the skin is good. A little bit of skin ain't gonna hurt nothing there. But I'll get all these worked up. Got 6 of them, and that makes for a good meal for Lisa and I. Little over 9 ounces of spot fillets, and a little bit of roe in there too that was in a couple of these fish. That's going to fry up nicely. Going to be some good eating around here tomorrow night. All right, we're starting off with our spot fillets and a little something adventurous for Lisa to try tonight. Fish roe. I love it. There was a few of these fish that had the roe in there. The oil is just about right, so we'll give that a second. And I'm gonna throw some scallops on this hot pan over here that have Tony sachets on. Check these fresh diver scallops out. They are beautiful. Wait for this sizzle. Let me throw a little oil in the pan. Watch this. A little oil in the pan. A little sizzle. These don't take hardly any time to cook. We really like them sauteed, and I've got some to fry too. And this is a lot of food, y'all, but we're going to eat on it for the next really 2 days. Oh, that looks good. All right, grease is hot. Throw in some of these spot fillets. Y'all, these are so good. Cook them with grease. Hot grease, always be careful. Lay it in away from you. And don't throw too much in the pan at one time. That's sufficient. We'll let these cook here in a few minutes. I'll show you how beautiful and crispy these are. And I'm breading them in House Austria seafood breader. It's really good.
There's some shrimp. You love shrimp. Like, is this a trick?
It's not a trick, buddy.
Look, Bob. Look. Here. There's shrimp. You gonna eat shrimp? There you go.
Oh yeah. I'll take it. Fresh caught, wild caught shrimp, y'all, not farm raised. Next time you go to the fish house to belly up to the popcorn shrimp, ask them, is this wild caught or is it farm raised? I guarantee you, for the most part, they're going to tell you, 1, they don't know, or 2, it's farm raised. If they say farm raised, ask them what country is it from. If they can't tell you from America, get up and walk out. Fresh, wild caught shrimp from right here in North Carolina. Check this out. If you have never had wild caught shrimp, and you may not have, it is worth it to yourself to come down to the coast or have it shipped straight from the shrimp boat to your house.
Well, and like when you went to the docks yesterday, they said that, what, 1,000 pounds of shrimp orders to be filled.
Just yesterday.
That they weren't for restaurants.
Not for restaurants, because they can't afford to buy them. It's more expensive, y'all.
But they're not expensive to buy as an individual.
No, not at all. Guys, you can come down to the coast of North Carolina, buy your shrimp fresh off the dock from the shrimp boat, cheaper than you can buy wild caught shrimp in the grocery store. Come down, bring you a cooler, get you a bunch of it, take it home and freeze it. It's rolling. She's gonna try fish roe for the first time. What do you think? Mild flavor?
Probably my least favorite.
Texture, it's grainy, right?
Yeah, it's grainy, but it's got a really strong, not fish, but
Salty.
maybe, yeah, it's salty.
Grainy and salty.
Yeah.
I love them. It's a treat.
You can have the rest.
Maybe it's an acquired taste. Let me hear that time. Y'all, I don't know where to start, and I don't know what you're going to eat, honey. But I got, let's see here. Let me try one of these fresh shrimp first. You cannot get that at a Long John Silver's or something like that. Will you hand me one of those forks right there beside of you? This is that fish house type slaw, barbecue slaw. Not barbecue slaw if you're in the Piedmont, North Carolina with ketchup.
Not a red slaw.
Not a red slaw. This is a white sugary slaw. It doesn't get no better than that. And look at this fish, y'all. White and flaky. Looks like flounder. If you didn't know any better, you would think it was. And it's better than flounder. No joke. Fried scallop. Let me cut that in half. Fresh diver scallop. Look at that. Now check this out. It is like eating warm butter. That's the flavor. And I've been able to start tasting a few things, thank God, because I've been looking forward to fresh seafood for a while. This is another scallop in Tony sachet seasoning, just a little bit of olive oil.
My favorite way for scallops.
And y'all, that's the real deal. That's not stamped out shark meat. Those are real diver scallops. You have to rinse them and make sure you go through and clean them, because when they take them out of the shell, there'll be bits of shell. So I get those out before I cook them. If not, you may end up at the dentist. Guys, we hope that you enjoyed just a few clips of the past few days. As time goes on and we're able to start making videos more than one a week, we'll kind of get with maybe a little better format, but I hope you like this.
And get back to the walk and talks.
Yes, walk and talks are coming back, y'all. The Lord has not told me to stop doing those. They will continue. Guys, we hope that you have a good day. And Lord willing, and the intercoastal waterway didn't rise too high.
And the waves don't rise too high,
Right.
somebody said.
We will see you on the next one. Y'all have a good day and a good week. Fish is what's for dinner. Supper.